Hi, I'm Vanessa Benlolo, and I'm the CEO and founder of Soul Guiding Institute. Today, we're here with Jenna. She is one of our trained and certified Spirit Baby intuitive readers, and we're going to be discussing today what it was like for her to choose the Spirit Baby intuitive program, to be trained throughout it, and now to be a facilitator of the work. Hi, Jenna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I would love to ask you what inspired you to become a Spirit Baby intuitive?
I wanted to use my intuitive gifts to start a business in supporting women. And these gifts that I learned to embrace after working with you as a client. And I just remember I had no idea what spirit babies were, but when you shared the wisdom and knowledge of my own spirit babies, I knew that this unique work needed to be facilitated. So that's why I continued with you into your Spirit Baby certificate training program to become a certified Spirit Baby intuitive, to enlighten women with the knowledge and guidance of their own spiritual child.
So I understand like you really felt guided to support women in this deep work, and that's so beautiful and influential. And so what was it like for you in your first experience being initiated into the Spirit Baby realm?
My initiation into the Spirit Baby realm was magical and exciting, yet it felt so familiar, almost like I was welcomed back home. And that's what I'll always be thankful for Vanessa, for guiding me back to my soul's purpose and giving me this sense of belonging that I never really felt, especially as a human on this earth. And you really helped guide me back to my soul's purpose and made me feel like I had a purpose on this earth, which is to help women connect to their spirit babies. And that's what my soul wanted to do all along, is build a business on this planet where I can continue to spread spirituality in a unique way.
Mm-hmm. And I think like what we were speaking about is just like how like beautiful it was for you, like almost being initiated into Spirit Baby realm allowed you to kind of feel more safe as yourself in this experience so that you can feel free to do this work in the world. Not only were you trained as a Spirit Baby intuitive, but during it, you also learned a lot about yourself. So why don't you share with me a little bit about what you did learn about yourself throughout this training?
So a big word I got to learn through your training was the word surrender. Prior to becoming your student, I really had no idea what spirit babies were. I always had a curious mind and an open heart. And I think that's something that you kind of highlighted when I was your client. And I got to learn about the fears and doubts that would hold me back when I'm in my most vulnerable state. And I thought that was keeping me safe. But really, I got to learn that it was my ego trying to keep me safe, but also limiting me. So this word surrender came up so many times in your training, is that I got to surrender those fears and doubts and let my ego kind of take rest to ultimately allow me to reach my highest potential and my highest self.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's so beautiful. And such an important piece of this work is people don't realize when they come into the Spirit Baby intuitive training how much unlearning there is in the ego, right? So just how much deconditioning that needs to take place for you to be really like receptive to the Spirit Baby realm. And in that, it really allows you to move through the world less driven by ego and much more able to surrender. And that ripples out into other areas of your life, I'm sure, as well.
Exactly. And I feel like my work is very heart-centered now, working with you and training with you.
Okay, so you shared a lot about like how the Spirit Baby intuitive training actually supported you in surrendering and letting go of the ego. You know, what else did you learn? What did you learn most about having me as your teacher? And what was that experience like for others who might be considering working with me specifically? What was your experience in that?
You know, Vanessa, I always go back to our first 15 minutes discovery call when we first met. And your energy was just so warm and inviting, yet it was so familiar. And it was almost like my soul was being seen aside from my human self. And it was finally held with such safety and love. And I met you at a very vulnerable time of self-discovery and learning who I was aside from everything else, aside from my parents' values, societal values. And you really took that essence of security into becoming a teacher when I was your student. And even in times when I doubted myself and the fears that I had around being a spiritual facilitator, you really took that time to have me learn more about myself and where those fears and doubts are really stemming from. And that's what makes your teaching so unique, is that not only do you get to learn about her beautiful topics and programs that she's teaching, but you also get to learn a lot about yourself, like that unraveling that we were discussing before.
Yeah, it's been a really beautiful journey to watch you embrace like who you really are. And I'm really honored to have and still have the opportunity to support you in that. It means a lot to me. Yeah. You trained in this work and you learned a lot about yourself and you kind of felt like this coming home to who you are. And so tell us, I know, but tell us more about if you offer Spirit Baby intuitive readings professionally and what that experience has been like for you being someone who's a certified facilitator of this work.
Yes, so I am a certified Spirit Baby intuitive, and I hold readings and meditations for anybody that feels called to do so. And after completing this work for a year now, I could tell you that being a Spirit Baby intuitive has been very eye-opening for me. A lot of the clients that reach out and are looking for my services all have a unique relationship to their Spirit Baby already. And it's been such a blessing to be this vessel on earth to connect the Spirit Babies to their mother, to relay messages and really help them strengthen their connection that they already have. My biggest highlight of being a Spirit Baby intuitive is that I'm continuing to build a community of conscious parents where all can be expressed in the world.
You're creating this community of conscious parents and kind of shifting this experience on like the planet and in the world. So what is possible for you now as a Spirit Baby intuitive that maybe wasn't possible for you before?
I think it's possible for me now to use my refined gifts to help women along their spiritual journey. Gifts that I embraced while working with you as a student. It's not possible for me to trust my gifts and integrate my ego and build this beautiful business that I've created for myself. I can happily say now, as a Spirit Baby intuitive, building my business to help guide women along their spiritual journey is now possible for me. And the opportunities to grow and expand seem endless.
Yes, I agree. And you've had a lot of opportunities also to like work with lots of different women, support them in their journeys of like conception and preconception, and also like even being on a podcast. So, but not only that, but basically you also have more self-confidence as yourself as a woman, and even just kind of breaking through some of the barriers of, you know, doing this work for a living. Sometimes it's like we have to kind of break through the fears we have of like, if we're going to get it right, or if, you know, people are going to be judging us for doing this work, or if our families will accept us for this work sometimes even, right? So those are some things that you move through as well that has been really beautiful to witness. So with all of that being said, is this a training that you would recommend for others? And what would you say to others who are considering being trained as a Spirit Baby intuitive?
So I would definitely recommend the Spirit Baby intuitive training with Vanessa for anyone that has an open mind, curious mind, and an open heart. Whether you decide to facilitate this work professionally, there's so much you can learn about yourself, the topic of Spirit Babies, and just getting the honor to learn from Vanessa.
Thank you, Jenna, so much for sharing your experience, both going through the training, learning about yourself, and now being a practicing Spirit Baby intuitive. I hope that all of you found what Jenna has shared in her experience valuable to you in determining if this is the right path for you. And if you'd like to learn more and become a Spirit Baby intuitive, I invite you to take the next steps and register for the class or learn more through a consult. I hope that this has been beneficial, and I thank you so much for your time.